Hello everybody, my name's Ryan and I'm a driving instructor. Today, stopping. Last time out I did about moving off and how to prepare moving off and things like that. Today we're going to talk about stopping, but I'm also going to address some issues somebody had a message. Wasn't really having a go as such, it was more asking me about what I thought about something. In the video I made a signal. I put a little caption in the corner and I put about making a signal about moving off. In quick recap, you're setting yourself up. Doors, seat, steering, seat belt, mirrors. You're also making sure it's in park and the handbrake is on. When you're going to move off, you start the car, you're going to drive, you take the handbrake off, so you're prepared, you observe, you have a look all the way around every single little piece of glass in the car, and then you move off. You mirror, signal, manoeuvre effectively as part of your moving off. So you prepare, observe, and then the manoeuvre is that effort to get out. It's that thing. What about this mirror, signal, manoeuvre in the middle that I've just mentioned then? Because somebody had mentioned that shouldn't I be signalling, and I put the video on. Well, let's read from the good book. So the good book says that when you're going to move off, press and hold the foot brake and then move the gear selector into D for drive. Another addition to that was sometimes some cars have A for automatic and B for braking, which is regen mode in the automatic. Just to clarify that, some cars say D, some cars say A, and some cars say B. Also, some cars don't have park, they have something else, or they have a switch or a button. But let's not trivialise it. Make your safety checks, use your mirrors, blah 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 blah. Give a signal if it would help any other road user. Well, if there's nothing there, is there any point in signalling? Well, no, not really. If you're going to do a driving test though, I'd probably signal. Yeah, ask yourself the question, do I need to signal? If I do need to signal, I probably should. Going back to the good book. Look around again if it's necessary and keep your eyes on your mirrors. That's quite important, that bit. I kind of didn't mention that bit because it's a bit unnecessary. I suppose if you were prepared, you'd observed, and then you were going to complete your manoeuvre, you'd already be aware of that. Now the good book says, release the parking brake and then release the foot brake. I don't think you should. I've always thought this. I believe in part of the prepare bit, the bit that you should be doing right at the start, the prepare, observe, and the prepare bit, into drive, handbrake off, because you're holding the car on the foot brake. If you're then going to release the handbrake, I can't see any point in it. There's also a video somebody else did, the Conquer Driving guy, Richard, who said that you shouldn't really be releasing that handbrake at that point. The book says you should do it, but my car and most autos have hill start assist, so you don't roll back anywhere, or you don't. Yeah, I wouldn't do this. But release the parking brake, then the foot brake. The car may start to move forward. Gently depress the accelerator for more speed. Accelerating fiercely wastes fuel and increases exhaust emissions. You know, we probably wouldn't do that bit. The good book tells you to do it, but from my personal point of view, I probably wouldn't. I've never had anybody fail on a driving test for doing that. I've never had anybody fail for not putting the handbrake off when they come to a stop at the side of the road, which is something I'll come back to. Also remembering that some cars have an automatic handbrake, so I guess that step of releasing the handbrake that's in the book is pretty much irrelevant now. It's a bit like those signs that tell you to say low gear now, and you're in an auto. Can't select gears, so what's the point in trying to select a low gear? I can't. It's impossible. It's just not. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, well, anyway. Whether your car has manual or automatic transmission, do not signal and move out regardless. Sit with the signal on when you cannot move out safely. I suppose that goes without saying, doesn't it? But then maybe not. maybe it doesn't, maybe you do need to be told that. When you've done your observations and you've checked around, what you're essentially doing is you're looking, making an assessment whether you can move, deciding whether you can move off from the side of the road, and then acting upon the information you've just taken. So I guess that if you've already checked and you then slap the signal on and you do another mirror check and move, that's great. I suppose if you're stuck at the side of the road with a continuous stream of traffic, then slapping a signal on intentionally to create a hazard because you need to move out is probably essential at that stage. If there was a slow road, a 30 or a 20, and there was nothing around, I can't see the point in putting the signal on as such. You might do it out of habit, and that's probably what you should do. Maybe make signalling a good habit. So, moving on to stopping at the side of the road. Well, stopping at the side of the road, relatively simple. You already know how to move off. So the next bit is stopping. So I want to stop at the side of the road. I want to stop somewhere where there is no yellow lines, no zigzag lines for schools or loading. You don't want to stop on double yellows, single yellow. You don't want to stop anywhere where you may inconvenience other road users. You don't want to stop near a junction. You don't want to stop on a crossing. There's things that you don't want to really stop at. You should be planning ahead. You're looking for anything where there isn't a drop curb. So plan ahead. Have a look down the road. Maybe 100 yards down the road, 100 metres, whatever you want to use. Come to stop at the side of the road. Visualise that stop. First thing you're going to do is mirror checks. Rear, left. Put a signal on. Left signal. Coming at the side of the road. Got asked today, do I need to put a signal on stop at the side of the road? You know what? I probably would. 100% probably would. Yeah, I probably would use a signal to stop at the side of the road. As you're coming in, you're then braking you come off the gas, you're braking very gently, you're in the auto. So you come in to stop at the side of the road, and you can use your left mirror to identify where the curb is, because you don't want to run over the curb. You can also use a reference point ahead of you. Some people have used the vents in the middle of the car or the speaker in the corner. They use different reference points to identify where they're going to stop at the side of the road, where the curb is. That spatial awareness of understanding where to stop at the side of the road. Going back to the good book, says the amount of pressure you need to apply to the foot brake depends on your speed and how quickly you want to stop. Well, yeah, it's in the good book, so why not? Decide whether you need to signal your intention to stop. On a driving test, if you've got somebody behind you and you don't signal, then that person behind you may stop behind you because you may be stopping for a hazard in front of you, or somebody crossing the road, and the person behind you can't tell, he can't see through your car. So what they might decide to do is stop behind you. So on a driving test, always 100% signal telling you stopping at the side of the road. When you come to a stop, then what you should do, put the handbrake on first. Put the little clicky switch or the manual handbrake, put that on first, and then put the car into park. Come off the brake and relax. Technically, you can press stop at that point. If you're loading or unloading passengers or unloading the car, or somebody's putting a bag in a car or anything like that, you want to go handbrake and park in that order, because you want to secure the car, you want to secure the back wheels and the front wheels. You come into a stop at the side of the road because you're going to do that action. On a driving test, they'll pull you over 5, 6, 7 times just to make sure that you are doing it correctly, that you are stopping correctly, that you mirror, signal, manoeuvre. Also that you're moving off correctly, that you're checking your blind spots. They look for things like that on a driving test. So that was it for the good book. It's got some information in it, and I was clarifying about the signal when moving off, I guess. Somebody also mentioned about dazzling other road users, and when you come into a stop anywhere, traffic lights and things like that, and it's night time and you're not using the handbrake because you've got your foot brake on. I think you'll find that probably everybody who drives auto drives like that. They don't using the handbrake. Of course, some cars have got the automatic handbrake, which is massively useful. So when you press the brake, the automatic handbrake comes on. When you press the gas pedal, the automatic handbrake comes off. Great. But in my car, where it's got a manual handbrake, it actually specifically says in the manual for this Clio, and it also, I understand, it says it for the Zoe and the Megane and the old Scenic as well, the autos, But if you've got your foot on the foot brake and you decide to put the handbrake on with the auto stop start system, sometimes the car can ask to be put back into park before you select drive again. Now this is vitally important. Most cars after about 2015 are fitted with auto stop start, and if you've got your foot on the brake in an automatic and not the handbrake, then as soon as you release the brake, the auto stop start re-engages and you can move forward. If you put the handbrake on and then put it in neutral, for example, and you're sat for any extended period of time, like a level crossing or a temporary traffic light, which we do tell you to do actually, then sometimes it can say on the display, go into park and then reselect drive. Sometimes effectively you have to reboot the car. I know it happens on other cars as well. So I've found where people have started to panic if they do that. And I mentioned in the last video about never changing gear. Literally don't do it. You'd rather sit with your foot on the brake, no handbrake on, in drive, ready to go at lights, rather than trying to mess about down here. So what about that glow then? Shouldn't you do it? Well, actually, in the good book, I have not found any reference where you shouldn't do it. It's advised in the good book you should be aware that you're dazzling other road users. I won't really dwell on this too much. And other people have asked, and yeah, go on, use your handbrake if you want. Some cars don't mind it, but this one's pretty specific that it tells you not to do it. It tells you not to put handbrake and neutral at traffic lights because the car will literally go into stop-start mode. It'll go into stop and it'll think that it's no longer in drive, so it asks you to go into park, start the car, then reselect drive, which takes a while. So that's the reason that I didn't go into too much detail in the last video about that one. I hope this helps in some way. I hope this helps everybody. I hope this helps with you moving off from the side of the road and stopping at the side of the road. This is kind of just an extension of last week's video, and also adding that stopping about finding a decent place to stop. If you did, well, why not like and subscribe? There's a test today, because I filmed this like on Wednesday. Don't know the outcome of that test yet. We could say, well done, or we could say, oh, sorry, you were unlucky. The test today, well done. I've got a test for a bit actually. I think the next testing sometimes in February somewhere. I've got a lot of people on my books at the minute. Christmas hangover perhaps. If you do like what you see, like and subscribe. And I'll see you next week. Enjoy your weekend. Bye. Well, I hope you got something out of this video. If you didn't, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Maybe the next one you might get something out of it. I hope you enjoy your weekend. New Year last week, the end of Christmas. I've got to put my Christmas stuff away. What am I going to do? I'm going to cry and everything. Look, real tears. Well, I hope to see you in the next video. If you like what I do, like, subscribe, and enjoy your weekend. Bye.